You have to be extremely efficient and do most of the stuff yourself at the beginning. When you do that and you learn everything about the business, you can start bringing people on because they're so attached to your vision that a lot of people will work for free for you at the beginning. Say, hey, you're on the ground floor. You can give them a small percentage of your company. You can let them know that they need to prove themselves for a couple weeks and put them on a trial period. Number one, make every single day your masterpiece. Start tomorrow. And tomorrow starts tonight, right? Make every day your masterpiece. Figure out what things you can create to distract yourself, to get rid of interruptions, and to have design where you can't mess up if you wanted to because you're so focused. Design over willpower. 3, what are you doing to create predictable growth? One of the smartest things you've ever done is invest in this because it's creating, like every single month, you're guaranteed to be around millionaires. You're guaranteed to get on these calls and be motivated, have a roadmap, and be more focused than ever. It's just guaranteed, right? If you want a trainer, you're guaranteeing health, right? So think about ways you can systemize your growth. Number 4, the prodigy effect. Start duplicating yourself. And number 5, the elite mentality. The top 1% do 3 things every single day. They spark their body. Somehow they get active, somehow. And there's a million studies on why. So if you're not as active as you could be, please get more active simply for your energy and your dopamine and your endorphins, right? They spark their body every day. And this could be 10 minutes of yoga. This could be stretching. Every day they spark their body. Number 2, they spark their mind every day. Okay. And this is watching something that's business related, sparking something in their mind that shapes their perspective or helps them expand their capacity, or they read a book, something every day. Number 3, they connect with someone playing the game at a higher level than them every day. So if you want the 1% roadmap, it's just doing those 3 things. You're going to start seeing a difference in your focus, in your energy, and you'll be more intentional. So let me answer these questions. So Katrina, what is the best way to hire, delegate when you're in the beginning stages of your business and financial resources are limited? You have to be extremely efficient and do most of the stuff yourself at the beginning. But at the same time, when you do that and you learn everything about the business, you can start bringing people on because they're so attached to your vision that a lot of people will work for free for you at the beginning. Say, hey, you're on the ground floor. You can give them a small percentage of your company. You can let them know that they need to prove themselves for a couple weeks and put them on a trial period. But you should be doing most of the stuff at the beginning. And if you watch this module, Katrina, it'll give you kind of the steps and what questions to ask on when to delegate and when to not. Okay. And you asked a question too that I want to answer. If you were given a lump sum of 70 grand, what would you do with it? This is going to be in my new book, and I want to share this with you guys. There's 4 things I would always invest my money in at all times, and this will never, ever, ever change. And it's in order. Okay. So if you want to jot these down, if I got a large sum of money, 70K, this is the 4 things I would spend it on. Number 1, I would spend it back in myself. Some type of mentorship or personal growth from a higher level person that's been where I want to go. Always number 1, sharpening your perspective. Think about it logically. What else would you invest in besides yourself and your mentality? When most people use 2% of their brain, and when you invest in yourself, you expand your capacity and at least use 6 or 7%, that's number 1. So you can think different and be more resourceful and have a roadmap and a network. Number 2, back in the business. So when you invest back in yourself, you start gaining more clarity on what business to start and what you want to do. When you invest back in the business to grow the business, you're investing in marketing, you're investing in your team, you're investing in content, personnel, training, whatever. So that's the first 2, back in yourself, back in your business. Whenever I have money, I'm always investing back in myself, back in my business. Number 3, once you invest in those 2 things, your money starts going up, right? Number 3 is assets that make your money work for you. So I would take most of the rest of the money and invest in assets that make my money work. Land, real estate investments, multifamily, rentals, crypto, right? if you're in the stocks, certain stocks, but you got to be very, very certain and have high potential, low risk, right? So that's just studying and figuring out what assets that make your money work for you. Number 4 is memorable experiences. A lot of people do this too soon to make up for their lack of results. I don't think that's smart psychology wise. But once you start making your money work for you and you invest back in your business, back in yourself, you're sharpening your perspective, then it's important every once in a while to invest in memorable experiences that allow you to see the world and travel, because I don't think there's anything more motivational and it'll give you more fire and excitement than taking your family to Fiji or going to Hawaii for the week or going to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, or going to Bali or Australia, traveling. Those are the 4 things I would always invest money in. Back in myself, back in my business, assets that make money work for me, and then memorable experiences, family, things like that. Got it? That's the things I'd focus on. I offer a mentor program, which is a paid monthly service. Current enrollment is $650. What are 2 or 3 things you would do to 10x the current enrollment? We've done this. Create a referral program, hands down. You want A players, so talk to your A players and get referrals from them. That'll already double. So create a very systemized, consistent referral program that is predictable. Not one that's random, but more predictable. 2, make sure your testimonials are everywhere. Your best testimonials should be on YouTube. They should be on Facebook. They should be on LinkedIn. They should be on Instagram. If people don't know that you're helping people and you're getting them results, how are they going to join? So make sure your testimonials are everywhere, and leverage your testimonials. 3, you can leverage other people's proven platforms, which means people that have a target audience that's similar to yours, or people that have a big audience that you can do business with that same audience, like it's your ideal audience. Pay them to do a promotion, or get on their podcast and say you want to add some value, or pay to be featured in a magazine that has your target audience. Leverage bigger platforms. And you can do some testing out and then see which ones bring in more clients. And then the referral should take off from there. Lastly is 90-10 your marketing and dive into the actual numbers. So I would take the last 6 months of data and I would think about what 10% of your actions produce 90% of your results marketing wise. Where are most of your members coming from? I would look at that and I would just triple down on where all your members are coming from, because you'll realize it's usually 80-20 or 90-10. Like 10% of your effort is producing 90% of your clients and your results. But most people focus on the 60 or 70% that they haven't actually got results with. So they're not actually being productive in their business, if that makes sense. That's what I would do. I'd pick 1 or 2 of those things to do first. But once you do that, it's game over. But you also can be more selective. So for you, I would challenge you also to make sure you have your ideal audience narrowed down, and you make sure that you're more exclusive. Like with our programs, we do some discounts and some webinars sometimes because we want to give back and let people get in a little bit of a discount. But it's extremely hard to get into our academy. It's hard, right? You have to be serious. We don't do the whole like, maybe we'll join 2 months. We don't do that, right? We want to make sure we get the right people that are willing to bet on themselves because we know the value. So we value the right people over making money. Or we could have way more members if we just put an order form online, right? So think about that. Make it more exclusive. So you have to interview people to get in, right? Versus accepting everybody. And I think you probably already do that, but that's just a reminder as well. Well, I'm afraid to teach someone everything I know because they could just leave and do it on their own. How do you replicate yourself without worrying about someone stealing all your sauce and doing what you do? I think it's just choosing the right people. And you also have to be willing to let them go and say, hey, I mean, so think about, you have to tie them into your vision, and you have to always be growing and continuing to grow. So they want to continue learning from you. If you teach them everything and you stop growing, you've created a monster and they don't want to be with you because you're not growing. But if you have their best interests in mind, this is huge. If you change someone's life and you have their best interests in mind, they will be loyal to you. But you have to have a genuine interest in helping them, right? So that's a huge key. So it's a similar situation with people on my team. whether it's my executive assistant, whether it's Horace, I'm teaching him everything I know at the right timing for him to learn it. I'm not scared he's going to leave because I know his mission and I know he wants to continue helping. So you got to ask him what their mission is. And you can usually tell in the first 6 months, put him on a trial period and test out how they use your information you teach them, test out their loyalty. But you need to figure out where that mentality came from in your past, because that will hurt your progress of creating A players and building a team. So figure out where that came from. But if you're loyal and you show loyalty and you have their best interests in mind, you figure out their hot buttons, you actually change their life, they're going to stick with you. Trust me. But it's going to challenge you to continue growing and continue to stay ahead of the game too. Does that answer your question? Good question though. Whatever level you want to be at, continue thinking and acting like that person now. If you want to get to 250,000 by the end of the year, you have to think and act and make decisions like that person now. If you want to become a millionaire, think and act like a millionaire now. Move like a millionaire now, and you'll get there quicker. Hey, what's up? And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy this video and this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, put the notifications on, and I assure you, you'll love this content and these videos.